Today I'm in Frankfurt to see this, the all-new Kia EV3. Come on. Look, I know what you're thinking. Does the world really need yet another compact electric SUV? Do you know what? Yes, I think it does, because I think this one is different from the rest. And in this video, I will tell you why. I'll be finding out if it has buttons or just a touchscreen. I'll be telling you how much it costs and answering the big question, is it any good? I'm Ginny Buckley and you're watching Electrifying. Right then, before we get started with all the important stuff, if you aren't already, please do subscribe to the channel and switch your notifications on. The little icon to do that should be just somewhere over there. That way you will know when all our latest videos have landed. So, on with this one, the all-new Kia EV3. It's basically the smaller sibling of the Kia EV9, the 2024 World Car of the Year, which means it's got a lot to live up to, and this is an important car for Kia. Compact SUVs like this are the fastest growing segment of car, and they make up a third of all cars sold in Europe. And from my first look, I think the EV3 is going to be a brilliant all-rounder. This is what I like about it. I mean, for starters, it looks great, doesn't it? It's not just a scaled down EV9. I really love the way, yes, it's got the angles, but it's also got that lovely, slightly sloping roofline that makes it look a bit more dynamic. And I think it looks like the concept, which we know from the comments in our first look video, you really like. It will go a long way. Kia says on the 84.1 kilowatt hour battery, it will be good for 348 miles. Only the VW ID3 with its bigger battery can match that. It has more space inside than any of its rivals, apart from the Megane, which can match it. That is because it is nice and wide, it has a long wheelbase, and it's also tall. It has buttons. Yes, it's got a big touchscreen, but there are buttons too, which I know will make loads of you happy. Oh, what is the world coming to? No rear wiper. Only it does have one. It's just cleverly hidden up under there. It can make you a cup of tea. So handy when you're a Brit abroad. Cheers. So let's take a look at the design in a bit more detail. And the EV3 comes in a choice of 9 different body colours, including this rather marvellous aventurine green, which I am a little bit in love with. Now, it's got the same tiger nose at the front of the car as the EV9, with what Kia calls its Star Map signature lighting concept. These are vertical daytime running lights, and they look great at night. It also has those familiar asymmetrical body lines, the squared off wheel arches, which feature 19-inch diamond cut wheels, and those distinctive vertical tail lights. But it has a more dynamic, sportier look thanks to that sloping roofline, and the black pillars give a floating effect to the roof, while there's contrasting lower body trim which really emphasises the angles. I really like how it manages to look angular and sporty all at the same time, while it's been designed with loads of aerodynamic goodness in mind to help with efficiency. Things like an active air flap, which optimises range at high speeds, and body undercover, which covers 90% of the underside of the car and improves energy efficiency. So this is the GT line, and you get the shiny black trim, which does look quite nice on the two-tone. It's a nightmare for fingerprints though. They leave marks all over, that would drive me mad. Actually, on the entry level, you're going to get more interesting recycled plastics on it, which I have seen and do look absolutely fantastic. We can't show you them yet though. So if you are thinking of speccing this car, I'd be tempted to go for the entry level because I actually think it might look a bit more interesting. Recycled plastics do feature heavily on the EV3, as you would probably expect. There's around 30 kilograms of them around the car, with automotive waste in particular being repurposed in areas like the side sills and the bumper covers, which we think is a very good thing. So, in here, and straight away, what really hits me is that it's nice and spacious. It feels bigger in here than it looks from the outside. So it's definitely got quite a compact exterior. Doesn't make me feel like a tiny Oompa Loompa, which is unusual for cars these days. I really like it in here. So I've just been chatting to the very lovely interior designer, and he was telling me that they wanted to create a lounge vibe. Yep, job done. You've done that. What I love are the headrests. These are the headrests from the EV9, which is possibly one of my favourite things about that car. They just look really nice. They are also super, super comfortable. And these seats are called relaxation seats, so that when you do need to take a break or when you're charging, it's actually comfy, you can kick back and relax. Seats are super comfy. I think adding to this living room vibe is this lovely material, so tactile. And there's absolutely stacks of recycled materials in here, recycled plastics, recycled industrial waste. So there's a lot of recycled goodness going on here, which I also like. If you want to know more about it and you're quite intrigued to find out what the carpets are made of, can you see that little QR code over there in the corner? There you go. You just have to scan that little QR code and it brings up the whole story of your car's interior. How good is that? So, the screen. Let's talk about the screen. It is the screen from the Kia EV9. And that impresses me because that's a car from, you know, a much higher class, a lot more expensive. And it's actually got a lot of the good tech from the EV9 in here. So you've got, let me remember the figures, two 12.3 inch screens on either side with a 5.3 inch screen, I think, 5.3 in the middle for all the climate control functions, and they're all blended to one in one slightly curved screen. It's really intuitive to use. It will of course be like the EV9. That has always been really impressive, the tech, the way you just get in, you can find your way around it. But hurrah, there are buttons too. We love a button. So you've got nice haptic buttons under here for your main functions. You've also got a volume control. So useful. Please, please, car makers, put more volume controls in. And then you've got extra little functions here for your climate control. Again, you've got buttons and functions on the steering wheel. Strikes a really nice balance between having the tech in the touchscreens, but also having it there at your fingertips. What else to tell you? Oh, good sized door bins down there. Oh, and this. Right, this is its party trick. Look, okay. God, I love all this openness that you get here. But look, watch this. Ta-da! Well, Kia says it is the first tray, shelf in a car. But I seem to remember in the Fisker Ocean, the taco tray, which was a bit flimsy. So I guess this is a sturdier, more substantial version of that. And I think, look, it's for things like this, isn't it? Putting your laptop on, there you go, you're off charging, you want to catch up on some emails, catch up on some work, have a snack, whatever. It's actually really quite useful. So the other thing you'll be able to do is customise the interior via over-the-air updates. Now, Kia says that you will never ever have to pay for functions like a heated steering wheel or heated seats, which some of the brands are charging for. Customisation for them means perhaps the ability to stream Netflix or play games or to change the backdrop of the screens. So your favourite football team, in my case Manchester United, cue loads of hate in the comments below, sorry, but I have supported them for a long time. So if I wanted, I could have a Man United themed backdrop there, although probably not considering how badly we're playing at the moment. I don't really want reminding of that every time I get in the car. Anyway, I just think there's a lot of really good, interesting stuff in here, and it is also a really nice place to be. Okay, right then, into the back. Yeah, it's nice back here. Look, it's not EV9 big, obviously, but it doesn't feel too cramped. Yes, you've got that slightly sloping roofline, which gives it a really nice agile look, but it does mean you don't have quite as much headroom in the back as you do the front, but I still think headroom is okay. What do I like? I love the fact there's no pesky transmission tunnel down there, so whoever ends up in the middle seat has somewhere to put their feet. This is really useful, the little storage bin. You also get decent sized door bins for your cup holders. Got more cup holders here in the central armrest. 2 Isofix child seat points on each of the outer seats. And I like the loungy vibe. I like the way the material is here in the back as well. You know, it doesn't feel like an afterthought back here. And I like this little strip of, well, it's not aluminium, but kind of faux aluminium that is also there on the front doors. It all feels like nice and joined together. Great for families. charging ports there on the back of the seats. What I don't love so much is this. It feels a bit, I don't know, it just feels a bit rough. And in my experience, it also marks really easily. So if you have got kids in car seats in the back here, kicking their feet around, you are going to get loads of marks on that. The other thing is, take a look at this. It doesn't open that wide, does it? It's quite an awkward bend to get children into car seats. But yeah, the only other thing to talk about really is legroom. And I'm 5'4", so it's always really hard for me because there's always loads of legroom. So come on, Manos, out from behind the back of the camera, into the front seats, do your thing. 6 foot, are you, Manos? I should know this. 6'2". Really? Okay.
Actually.
Is it?
Yes.
That's good for you.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm very generous, like I can go even further.
That's loads of space. Right then, let's talk about the boot. So, it's got a party trick. It's got the floor you can see here and a hidden floor underneath that you can just position down there, and it reveals 460 litres of storage. So it is the largest in its class with the seats up. Rivals like the Volvo EX30 and the smart #1 have got just 2/3 of this capacity. Only the Megane comes close to it. Drop the seats, you get 1,250 litres, on a par with the VW ID3 and the Born, but the Megane does have slightly more storage with the seats down. You've also got a 25-litre frunk around at the front for all your cables and stuff. So yeah, it's got absolutely great storage. There's also a really nice wide sort of squarish opening. This is a nice wide car, even though it is compact. And yes, if you drop the floor down, you've got to lift things over the lip. But if you raise it up, you don't have to do that. You can just slide things in. The one thing I will say, though, is that, again, the plastics, like those on the back of the seats, they do just seem like they're going to mark a little bit easier. And I get the impression that with a bit of wear and tear, it could start to look a little bit scruffy back here. But we will wait and see. There are 2 batteries on offer, an entry-level 58.3 kilowatt-hour version that comes with up to 254 miles of range, and a larger 81.4 kilowatt-hour option with a claimed range of 350 miles. Both are available in just 2-wheel drive with a single motor up front, and both will feel pretty nippy. Expect 0 to 60 to take around 7.4 seconds for the standard version and 7.7 seconds for the slightly heavier, longer range. Right then, the charging port is open, so that will be my cue to talk about charging. The entry-level model can charge it up to 120 kilowatt DC, and that rises to 128 kilowatts for the larger battery. There's also the option of very handy 22 kilowatt AC charging arriving down the line. So the Volvo EX30 will charge slightly faster at speeds of up to 153 kilowatts, whilst the large batteried ID3 is good at up to 170, as is the Cooper Born with a bigger battery. But look at the numbers more closely, and like the competition, a 10 to 80% top up on a rapid charger will still take around half an hour. The EV3 is the first Kia to get some nifty new regenerative braking tech, which means you can opt for different levels of one-pedal driving. So if full regeneration isn't your thing, you can calm it down a little. It also comes with vehicle-to-load and vehicle-to-grid, increasingly common on cars in this class, but still not available on any VW Group cars. You know, I'd love to know if you're interested in using your battery as an energy source to plug in my aforementioned kettle to make a cuppa, or maybe use to plug in your garden tools. Or is it just a gimmick that in reality you just wouldn't use? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So there are a couple of questions I need to answer. First, how much is it going to cost? Well, prices haven't been confirmed at the moment, but a little bird has told me that it will be around £33,000 when it goes on sale in the UK. Very much in line with the entry-level Volvo EX30, and actually undercutting the likes of the VW ID3, the Cooper Born and the Megane E-Tech. So the other question, is it any good? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's really good. There's so much that I like about it. It's got a sense of fun about it. It looks different to the EV9, but it's got lots of the tech from that is really useful and we know works really well. And I do love the interior. There's a phrase that springs to mind. It's going to sell like hotcakes. perfect for with my cup of tea that I've been able to make using Vehicle to Load. Maybe it's more useful than I thought. Cheers. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already seen it, then do make sure you check out our video of Kia's 7-seat EV9. And if you aren't already, then do subscribe to the channel and switch those notifications on so you know when we'll be driving the Kia EV3, because that is coming very soon.